Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Adam Iqbal, and I'm going to continue on the demonstration of our program. So first, we are going to run this program for easy explanation. Okay, the program interface is the same as in part A, which not much difference, but we only enhance three features, which is option 1, option 2, and option 3. So now we are going to go through option 1. We enter 1 and then it uses arrays to ask the user number of students. For example, we put 2, it will then continue 100, and we also put an input error, which means if it invalid mark, it will ask until it become valid, like 1 to 100. And then we ask for the second one. It is depending on the array. In this the code we can see right over here. We uses array to store data from multiple students, and it will loop until the number of students have been met. So if the number of students is 3, then it will loop 3 times. Continue, we're gonna store the data, and then it will, and after we have inputted all the data, the system will then store all of that into a file, to a text file called my elearn record. Alright, it will then be used in overall summary, which we'll go over briefly. Okay, and then we're gonna go on to option 2, it is JPA estimator. But the major difference between part B and part A is that we just add an array so that user can enter a lot number of students rather than one, and it all can count at the same time. And we're gonna demonstrate. For example, we put the JPA estimator, and the number of students is also 2. Let's say you ask the first one number of subjects, 1, and the subject name, and the credit hour is say 3, and we ask A. But if we input the wrong type of grade, it will ask on the capital letter according to the format. Now since we entered 2 number of students, then we ask, it will loop 2 times. So you're gonna just write one subject, be whatever string, and the credit hour is 4, and the grade is B. Okay, so now the same as in the weighted score calculator, all the GPA values of these multiple students are then stored inside the my elearn record.txt. Which again will be used in option 3, which is overall academic summary. Now, as you can see here in the overall academic summary interface, it will ask the user either to view student 1, student 2, student 3, and so on, or press 0 to view all, including previous record. Let's say we press 0. Alright, so this is the student 1 who just entered before, and this is the student 2. And here is all the previous record, which means at the same time, it can retrieve data from a different file from a different runtime. So let's we close this one and we run it again. Even though in this runtime we have not inserted any of data, any of GPA, score calculator, whatever. When we press summary and we ask to see all including previous records, since we does not input anything, there will be no current output, but there will be a previous output, as you can see here. The previous that we have stored in the my elearn assistant file before, it appears here as we are using file handling here. Okay, and this is as you can see, this is the input error, which is if the user uses one and user insert invalid numbers. Let's say we're gonna run this again. -1, -1, -2, then it will be invalid. And this here we uses the pointer of each array and also the number of students, which is represented by the variable student summary, to the function of academic summary to display. And that is all the improvement we've made for the part B. For the additional features that we added in part A, there's no changes been made. So overall we just added array pointers and file handling to ensure much better user experience. That's all. Thank you.
So for this part, I will explain about file I/O, which stands for file input and output. So in our MyElearn assistant system, we use file I/O so that the program can save student data and also read it again later. Basically, we created two main functions, which is save to file and display from file. Alright, so let's go through to the save to file function. The save to file function will open a text file using offstream and then write the student's information such as marks, total score, grade and GPA into that file. After all the data is written, the file is closed to make sure the data is safely stored. Then the display from file function will use if stream to open the same file again, read the information, and display it back on the screen. This lets users view all the records from previous session without having to enter the data again. So overall, file I/O make our program more practical and user-friendly because the data will not disappear when we close the program. It also helps improve the system's reliability and make it closer to a real academic management system. So that's all from me for this part. Bye bye.